Hey, y'all. Listen, happy Monday, okay? I'm glad to see y'all out there hanging out with me for this recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Listen, we probably going to be in and out tonight. In and out. Because ain't nothing really happened. But I will tell you this. The sweetest moment to me was, excuse me, guys, was Gizelle and her sending her daughter off to college, Jazelle and Grace, and the twins saying goodbye to their sister. That moment was so special to me. And I was saying to myself, see, I want to see more of that. I thought it was so cute, so special. Gizelle was so emotional. And I really, really did like that particular scene. Yes, come on, Miss G. I was practically in tears too. Because Gizelle was very emotional. I'm sorry, guys. Right before this, I was trying to eat my dinner. Gizelle was very emotional. It was so real. It was so authentic. And I really did love it. Yes. Oh, my God. That moment was everything to me. Outside of that, it wasn't really nothing going on. I'm sick of Robyn and Candace not getting along. I'm sick of all the shade being tossed around. I'm sick of random outbursts by Charrisse. Sick of it. And then she had the nerve to say, go talk in the champagne room. I was underwhelmed by the champagne room. But you know what? She seems to have a nice home. And I'm happy for her on that note. But the champagne room wasn't champagning for me. It was what it was, and it is what it is. Mia and Jacqueline spoke. Two beautiful women that had a 30-year friendship. I really hope they can find their way back to each other. I really hope they can get it together. And you know what? I got to get this girl name right. Is it Kiana? You know, Kiana's Kiana. I'm still trying to figure out, why is she here? Why is she here? I'm still trying to figure that out. But, you know, we got Kiana, you know. Robyn, now, let me tell you something. All of these reality shows, there's someone on the show whose house is like top notch. I gotta give it to Robyn. She did the darn thing with that home. It is gorgeous. She did the darn thing. Now, I don't know if she had designers and decorators and all that come in. I mean, she did the darn thing. That home is gorgeous. It is beautiful. The decorations, everything. So Robyn, Ashley, and Charrisse, you know, are at Robyn's house. And they have a little powwow back and forth. And Charrisse told Robyn, you know, I invited Jacqueline. Because the girls seem to still have a relationship with Jacqueline. And Mia seems to be okay with it. She's like, listen, if y'all speak to Jacqueline, y'all speak to Jacqueline. But me and Jacqueline right now are still trying to figure out our life. Okay. So that was those two. They show a scene with Nneka and her husband. You know, they're trying to have the baby, and I wish them well. Gizelle goes to visit Karen and invited Karen as a +1 to the Charrisse crab boil. And Karen was like, no, I'm good. I'm not going to her house. I'm not even doing that with Charrisse. I don't like Charrisse. We don't get along, and I will not be going to her house. Now, Robyn was the first one to show up to the crab boil at Charrisse's house. and she helped Charrisse, you know, put the paper down, set up. And Charrisse wanted to talk about Karen and why she didn't show up. You know what, Charrisse, let it go. Maybe if Karen sees one scene that you do and you're not talking about her, maybe she'll feel compelled to kind of mend the relationship. Just maybe. So stop it, Charrisse. Stop talking about her. The crab boil was the crab boil. You know, I thought it was messed up of Robyn when she noticed it was Sherei, Candace at the door. She ran back up the stairs and she wasn't going to even try to greet Candace or whatever. Can we do some adulting? You couldn't just open the door and say, hey, and whatever. Yes, Robyn home is beautiful. I see that, Miss G. Her home is gorgeous. They all talked about the crabs not having enough seasoning. And then Candace brought up how, what's the name? Robyn, you know, sent the blogger text messages. So Robyn, you want to talk about how Candace loves to tweet things about you, this, that, and the other. And yet we got to find out that you sending bloggers text messages that happen between you and Candace. So you're two peas in a pod. Y'all the same. You send it behind the scenes to act like the person just found out, you know, without, you know, just happened to find out what was going on. And Candace just goes ahead and tweeted herself. I'd rather the person that go ahead and tweeted themselves so I know, okay, that came from you, than to have somebody do it undercover, send it to a blogger, and that's how they get the information. So, Robyn, we've been seeing you for a long time, but we see you, Robyn. We see you. Listen, guys, y'all know what I got to do in here so I can board this train. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Monday night, and it's the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 16. Next week is the season finale. Hallelujah. Because I'm over it. And it appears that next week is going to be Robyn and Ashley's fashion show. In the Name of Dwight, from what I'm seeing so far, dreadful. But we'll see when it actually plays itself out. But it's called Boiling Point. And Charrisse loses her natural mind. We're going to talk about it. Now let me bring the people on in the building. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, In My Opinion.
Hey, Diva.
Hey. Hey, Katrina.
Hey, Diva.
Hey. Listen, choo-choo, everybody. Listen, if y'all ever want to come up, today's a perfect night. The link is out there. But we probably going to wrap this thing up, put it in a nice package in a bow in 2.2 seconds, okay? Because didn't much happen on the Real Housewives of Potomac last night. But like I said, the most heartfelt moment for me was Jazelle sending her baby girl off to college, and how emotional it was, and how even her sisters were so emotional and pretty much hugged and said, can we still call you for afternoon prayer? You know, as messy as Jazelle can be on that show, I will say this. I really feel like Jazelle raised a good group of young ladies. Come on, people. Yes, like and subscribe, people. Like and subscribe. She raised a good group of girls. Grace seems so sweet, so humble, but so does the twins. And at the end of the day, Jazelle is a single mom. She pretty much raised those girls on her own. And I hate that she's so messy on the TV, because when it comes to the girls, it seemed like she really did the darn thing. And for that, I really do like her. And I wish we could see more of that than more of this other nonsense. And I thought it was super cute when they was in the confessional, and pretty much, you know, Grace said, you did it right by me. You did good by me. I thought that was so sweet. It was just a really great moment for me, and I loved it. It was the highlight of last night's episode. So other than that, like I said, I forgot Candace. What is her name? Is her name Kiana, Kiana, I'm gonna call her, okay? Candace, Kiana, and Wendy, they go to the spa and it's Kiana's spa, I want to say, and they got the laser treatment. Candace got her little hoo-ha, lays it off, and Wendy did her underarms. And I like to see that, this girl has a nice business that she's running. There's a lot of people that get their hair removed, they get the wax. It's nice. She got a nice little business going on. Let's see more of that type of stuff, right? Like I said, Gizelle and Grace, because Grace is going off to college. Then you had a moment where Robyn, Ashley, and Charrisse at Robyn's home, okay? And we had that kind of moment there. And they talked about Karen having the trainer that's not a trainer, and also that Jacqueline was invited to the crab boil. Nneka and her husband, Nneka's trying to have a baby. It's pretty much her storyline this season. It is what it is, right? Then you got Gizelle and Karen. So Gizelle went over to Karen's home. She invited her to the crab boil, but Karen said absolutely not. And Karen was trying to bake the cookies. Listen, I used to bake those cookies all the time. In the Pillsbury Doughboy, they can come in the little freezer section in a long row, and you just cut it. And listen, you put it in the oven for a couple minutes, and you got you some cookies, okay? I use those too. For all the non-bakers out there, when you trying to have a little dessert moment, if you don't buy the dessert, you could get that little roll thing and make you some dessert. Come on, y'all, hit the like button. We got 103 people in the building and only 39 likes. Purchase your tickets if you're going to be a passenger on this train. We appreciate you. So I kind of stop it there, and we'll do the crab boil last. Or y'all can wrap in the crab boil when you want to there. We might as well wrap that in too. Because Charrisse lost her natural mind, and I was like, girl, okay. And then Nneka came in as the grand dame with the crown on and all of that. I guess it was a cute moment. And Mia and Jacqueline talk, and then Charrisse loses it when Robyn and Candiace try to talk. And what's the name? Robyn said her and Candiace will never, ever be friends. Savannah, you're up.
Ooh, let's see. You're right. There wasn't much last night, but I actually did enjoy last night's show, and it was, I think, the the scene with Grace and Gizelle just kind of made the whole evening for me. But I'll start with Candace and Wendy going to Kiara's spa, or Kierna, or to her spa. Um, I did laser hair as well. I think it's one of the best things I've ever done. So I'm surprised they haven't done it yet. Um, and it is painless. So I really like that scene. I looked up her spa to see reviews on it, and she got a good little thing going on there. So I appreciate Karen. I hope she does become a regular cast member, but I would like them to introduce her correctly, because I still don't know why you're here, and what the purpose is. Uh, Grace and Giselle, I really, it was the first time that I can relate to Giselle as a woman, as a mother. Sending your child out to school, as many of us know, is one of the hardest things, especially if they're going out of state. It is one of the hardest things about being a parent, is learning to let go. And I actually did get emotional and cry during that scene, because when Giselle said it's me plus three, and now it's going to be me and two. Oh, that just did it for me, because she's going to feel that emptiness when she gets back home. But I'm glad now that there is modern, technology with FaceTime, and being able to check in on them and track them. It is much easier than what we had to go through back then. But seeing that genuine love that these three females, women, because that Giselle did raise some good girls, and I really love that interaction between them three, between them four as a unit. You could tell it's been them against the world, and I just love that scene. I really wish Giselle would tap into that more. I love that Karen looked out for her, and the relationship between Karen and Giselle is, to me, it is genuine. It goes beyond and outside of the show. Karen knew exactly what Giselle needed. and reached out to her and touched her. So I absolutely love that scene between Karen and Gizelle. I thought that was also genuine. Um, and Giselle's looking pretty good. I've got to whatever she's doing, whatever workout regimen. I really need to. I don't follow her on social media, but I'm giving her props this year that she's looking better.
100%.
The
She really is.
yes,
100%.
she really is.
Mhm.
So I got to give that even from her hair to her makeup
Yep.
and to even her clothes. I actually see that Giselle is at she's looking good. I'm not sure what she's doing, but it looks good. Um, and I'm so proud of Karen because sometimes these women, and not just in this show, but in other shows as well, you don't have to go to every event. And no is a complete and full statement. So saying no, I'm glad that Karen did not feel obligated to go to Charisse's um, crab boil. She knew it wasn't going to bring her any value but stress, and I'm glad that Karen decided not to go because it would have been another part 2 of Mexico, and that's ridiculous. I'm so proud of her for not going. I did feel sorry for Candace being she just seemed like she was out on the outside of the group during the crab broil. Um, Charisse, I knew she stayed in a townhouse that I think I know where this area is. It's kind of small. I honestly said the same thing. I was like, okay, you've been divorced for some years now, and where is your come up and doing branching out into something? I didn't understand why Charisse had to have this event. Are you a friend of the show? Are you trying to get back on the show? I'm not sure. Um, it was funny that everyone was saying these crabs were without seasoning because I honestly could see it through the TV. I don't know. It was so sad. There was no salt, no juice, no lemon, no nothing, and I'm allergic to crabs, and I know that they weren't right.
So am I.
they just
So am
looked like they were not right. I was like, okay, something's missing here, and then it took me a second. I was like, wait, there's no seasoning, there's no butter, there's no, and I know for a fact that it was just a shame. They look like they taste like river, like the Potomac River. To me, that's what the crabs look like. It was just bad. Mia and I'm Diva. I'm gonna pause here because my grandbaby's calling me. She's
No
going.
problem. No problem. We'll come back to you.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Go ahead. In my opinion, you're up.
Okay, so the Kiana scene, I don't really want to talk about it. It was cute for what it was.
Mhm.
Jazelle, I'm glad that we have moments like this that makes Jazelle human. Because so many times she come across as um a woman without a heart, and so
Mhm.
this softened her up, and it showed that she does have a heart. She does love her kids, and it's nice to see. And I do know that struggle of letting your kids go, and it is painful at first because you've had your child in your home your whole life. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
to let them go, it's a scary thought. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's scary, it's empowering, but it puts a fear in you that you can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Mhm.
the fear of letting them grow up. You know what I'm saying? And but I'm glad that she's getting through it, and I'm glad that she has a strong base, and I'm glad that Grace is keeping up with them and keeping in tune. That's the best thing you can do is have your child call you every day, check in, let you know how they doing. um and the only other scene I wanted to talk about was this crab boil. um because there was so many nuggets that I did get out of this, even though it was a hot mess. Okay, besides the unseasoned crabs. Okay, I found it really funny that Charrisse told Candiace that she was the one that has messed up her friendship with Robyn, talking
Mhm.
about her. But in the same breath, Robyn has been sending private text messages to
Mm.
bloggers.
Mm. Mm.
You sat on your show with Jazelle and talked cash money stuff about her husband cheating, which those allegations came back that they was false, y'all still haven't retracted that. But you talking about some tweets. Candace didn't go and release text messages. Candace didn't go on YouTube and start a YouTube page and start talking about y'all relationships, even though Gizelle doesn't have one. But I'm just saying she didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Candace only responded to what was out there. The person you should be mad at is your husband that went to pay for a room for a woman that he claimed he didn't know and he did sleep with, which we ain't buying. The problem should be with him. You sat there on that reunion and told this girl that no man should be in a room with the married woman. At Chris, the husband does the same thing for a woman that he doesn't even know. It's okay, it's fine, and we're not supposed to call you out at all. Now, make that make sense.
Make
I
that make sense.
Mia being the victim, okay? Mia makes everything a victim statement, and this is where I'm telling you, I'm getting tired of her. Okay, you sat down in that room with that girl, and you told us this sad sob story when they had that event, how nobody stood up for you, and how you felt like you were left alone because her ex-boyfriend did this to you. And you left out bits of the story. You had us feeling like Jacqueline wasn't a real friend. And then when we hear the story, she didn't even know it happened for 2 years. It's almost like you wanted to make her the villain in your story and you were the victim. And for that, I do not like that because it is so many people that are out there that's doing stuff maliciously on purpose. And you sat here and tried to vilify this girl on this show. And had she not came up here and told the story, we would not have known it. We would have just thought Jacqueline was around here leaving women in rooms to be abused by men. And that's a shame. I would never want another woman to feel like she did something wrong when she didn't even know what was going on. And that's all.
Thank you, in my opinion, yes. Hey Stephanie, you're in the building. What are your thoughts?
Hi.
Hey.
So it sounds like you covered like the whole episode.
Yes, I did. Because I feel like much wasn't going on, so I figured we just talk about the whole thing in one shot.
All right, I'm just gonna have to go with what I remember.
Okay.
I'm gonna start with Jazelle and Grace going to school. I'm in my 40s. I have no children, but I remember when my parents dropped me off for college. So watching that scene put me in that space, you know. At the same time, I felt kind of bad for Grace because she's no longer protected from her private school arrangement where they're not allowed to talk about the show.
Right.
She's now going to college and everything's open season. So she's going to discover a lot about her mother that Gizelle tried to hide. I feel like Gizelle, that was probably one of the emotional reasons that Gizelle started crying, because I think she knows that her daughter is an adult now and anything can happen. Not saying it should, but you know,
understood.
Realistically, it could. So I kind of felt bad for Grace in that moment because I just couldn't imagine me going to school, starting my life, brand new adult, learning the world, and then I'm hit with all the shenanigans my mother did on national TV, the colorism accusations, etc., etc. So that's going to be interesting to see going forward how Grace handles that. And then, of course, Gizelle has 2 other daughters right behind her, so that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip all the way to the crab roll because I don't even remember what happened in between. I really don't care about Karen and Gizelle or whatever.
Right.
I don't even know why Charrisse invited Karen in the first place. She knew Karen wasn't going. She knows Karen doesn't like her. And after that incident, where were they? In Mexico, whatever it was, when she was banging on the table and they were almost throwing glass at each other. Why would she think Karen would go? Now, Karen, in my opinion, I don't know why she made up that whole Ray's allergic thing. I'm not sure if I believe that. I would just be honest and say, girl, you know I don't like you. I'm not coming.
Right. Yes, exactly.
I mean, You know, and there's nothing Charrisse could say to that. You know,
Right.
I don't like you. I'm not coming. That's it. You know, I don't need to come up with a lie to not go to your event. But, you know, that's Karen. She lies. So that falls in line with what she does.
It does. It does. That's Karen for you. That's the grind down for you. Yes, she does.
I don't know why. What's Mia's friend's name? I forget her name.
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline. I don't know why she was there. When I saw her there, I was all the way confused. Then I thought, okay, well, maybe we'll have a moment where these two go at it. No, we didn't have that. I don't understand the moment that we had with Jacqueline and Mia. I didn't think it was necessary. The only good part was, sure, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The only good part was when Candace and, of course, Robyn were going at it. However, I don't understand Candace and Wendy because they have so many bullets they can fire at Robyn and they're not using them. Talk about the Patreon and going behind the paywall. Forget about those stupid text messages. I think to me, those text messages meant nothing. I saw them. It was whatever. Because it was to me, it was all Robyn deflecting from the situation when she posted the messages.
As usual.
Right. So I just don't understand how, you know, Candace and Wendy knows what Robyn is doing, but they're like kind of holding back. I mean, they do say things once in a while, but they really don't go in, especially with Candace's mouth. Didn't they already decide they weren't friends in the DR?
They did. I think they tread the line of they know it's a show. They know that these two girls kind of control the scenes, right? Because you notice how when they want to let them through the door, they will. Because you see when Robyn tripped, everybody was invited, but y'all couldn't be seen or y'all couldn't go to the Grand Don strip, right? It's just stupid because you invited this one first or that one or whatever. But you see everybody was on Robyn's trip.
Yeah.
Right. So they know that these two girls, they're controlling the scenes right now. And I think they're trying to do a mix of I'm gonna stand my ground, but I gotta figure out how to work this thing too. That's what my thought is. But go ahead, continue.
I mean, I hear that standing your ground, but you know, if you want to be invited back next season, you better, you know, make a scene like you're supposed to, especially with Candace's lips. I don't understand why she held back. I just, you know, don't get it. Charrisse. First of all, is it me? That's not the same house that she had the champagne room in. For some reason, I feel like that's a completely different house. I recognize nothing. I don't even remember seeing the champagne room, honestly. I don't remember seeing any of that.
It is a completely different house. I heard she lost that house.
Oh, okay.
She spent all of that money on the champagne room because that champagne room costs big dollars. I heard she lost that house. And if you notice, this champagne room is not as grand as
yeah, I saw that. I'm like, wait a minute, that can't be the same champagne room that I remember. Her house was okay. It wasn't nothing spectacular. I mean, Robyn's house was nicer than hers, and I don't even like Robyn, you know. I mean, Nneka's house was okay too compared to Sherei. Like, even Gizelle's house was comparable to Charisse's house. So I just I don't know. I didn't get that. Her banging on the table, she was drunk and trying to create a scene because it was boring. The whole argument was boring. The whole argument was stupid. I think Charrisse did all of that extra stuff just to make an extra scene, just so she could have more camera time, just so she could be invited back to the show next season, just so she could get a champagne flute. It didn't work though, because after all of that, I don't think anybody cared outside of laughing at her. I think that was the end of the episode. I know you said next week is the fight at the the release party, the launch party. I'm just looking forward to that. So yeah, I guess that's all my comments on the show. I might have missed the scene or two, probably because it was too boring for me to remember.
It wasn't anything. But yeah, the most heartfelt moment last night was Gizelle taking her daughter to school, Grace. It was everything. It really was. Lisa, you're up. Can you hear us? Oh, there you go. Hey.
Yeah, hold on. How you doing, child? How you
Hi.
doing, my love? How everybody doing on this beautiful Monday night? Girl, let's get started, girl. I'm finna tell you, child. Nita needs to go somewhere with that funeral home makeup they put on her face. I agree with you, girl. We was talking about that stuff last night on Big Six channel. That funeral home makeup they were putting on her face, girl. She ought to be ashamed herself. And also, tell me. I don't believe nothing going on between her and her husband. I don't know. I just don't feel like they real close, like they should be. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I always say, don't talk about nobody else's relationship until you get into yours. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it. I don't know how nobody else feel. And let us move on from that. Let me see. It wasn't really nothing going on last night, but I'm gonna tell you something. At that crowd board meeting, that stuff ain't nothing but fake. I believe it's nothing fake going on between Jacqueline. I believe Jacqueline and me. All that stuff was fake because I believe that that Mia was trying to get Jacqueline on the show. She was trying to get her a champagne glass, but everything fall apart. They say, well, this is what the script gonna go. This is what the script gonna go. Everything was just like I believe the like fake. Everything was just like fake, 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 fake. And I really do. And I don't know why. I don't know. To me, like last night, Sherei kind of flipped the script on Candiace. Girl, you got it wrong. You really got it wrong. It was nothing that Candiace did to Robyn. It was Robyn did to Candiace. And she kind of flip it like she always do. How can you get mad at what Gizelle did and see what Robyn is doing to Candice? That's how I feel about that situation. I think, yeah, and I remember last night my mouth hit the floor when when Candace came out with them text messages last night. She played the thing. She told her last night, yeah, you've been showing out personal stuff. Robin face turned like what? She didn't think they're gonna come back and hit her in her tail, but it did. And also, yeah, they hit her in the tail, but it did. And I mean, like, why you going back? And I'm like, Candace, why you going back when we was friends? Why you going back telling somebody else about our private text messages and stuff? That's the same thing Monique did to Candace. They had was when they had the problem. Monique had when all this stuff went down with Ashley's husband getting charged and all that stuff that Monique and Cam went back and forth on the phone with. Monique showed text messages to Ashley. Like, see, but she didn't never tell Ashley what she said. And I just got a problem with that. I really do. I always tell people you gonna show text messages and all that right there. Show what you said too. Don't want to show what I see. You know what I'm saying? But that's how I feel about the situation. I really do feel like all of that. Like I said once before, why you going around him? You mean y'all? And I really do believe that you and Jazelle have set that stuff up. I really you believe you set that woman up to go over and talk to the blog. Tell me, yeah, I had an affair with I had an affair with Chris Bass. I really do believe that. I really do with Giselle and Rob had something to do with that. You know what I'm saying? I really and in my heart, I really do. But I got this point right here. I really do believe Candy thought her and Robin had a good relationship. I really do believe that. I really do believe in her heart. She thought that her and Robin had a good relationship, and she thought they was best of friends. Because remember last year, Robin bought out that speaker. Robin bought out that speaker and she told everybody, and she and Candace, I wasn't talking about you. I wasn't talking about you, Wob. You know how much I love you. I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about the other women. And I think, I really do. I think Wob don't want to talk. Now, I really do believe Wob don't want to talk about her home life, so she making Candace a part of her storyline. I really do. She making this season right here. I believe she kind of make Wob. I believe Wob kind of make Candace part of her storyline because she don't want to talk about. She don't want to talk about what's going on at home. She don't want to talk about Joanne and all the women and all this stuff with that. She don't want to talk about it. But you the first one sit on that couch last year talking about. Well, we talk about what's really going on in our lives. Well, did you will tell what's really going on in your life then? Tell her what's going on at home then. Tell about all the women your man got caught with. Okay? Tell about that. Okay? And then I'm just saying for me, all this I don't tell you
Hold on,
something.
hold on, Lisa.
I agree with my
Hold on 1 second, please. So this was the champagne room in the other house. So it looks
Yes,
like she still
I
has
remember that.
chairs. It looks like she still had the same chairs, but it's not the same champagne room. She paid so much money for that.
that's the champagne room.
That was the original one. She paid so much money for that champagne room, but like I said, she lost that house. She lost that house. Yeah.
I thought they had put up for sale then it. They had to put it up for sale then it.
No, I thought that was her house that it might be. Because I don't know why I'm confusing it with the house that I thought she had already won the house when she made the champagne room from the husband. I thought that was the case, but
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah, because I thought, I mean, excuse me, I don't mean, I thought that they had to sell the house and they split down the profits.
you could be right, Lisa. You could be right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody's saying it was sold in divorce. So why? I don't know why she made that expensive champagne room when she knew it was going to be a possibility that that house was going to have to be sold. That was just insanity that she did that. Somebody
Baby,
said, yeah, yeah. Either way, that she's not in the same home. She's not in the same home, and they're saying you are right, Lisa. So she's not in the same home.
yeah.
So she got the chairs from the champagne room, but the champagne room looks nothing like the original one in her old house. But Charrisse is trying it. But I will say this: if Charrisse didn't come back trying to go at Karen specifically and maybe had her own
Hmm.
storyline, maybe she would have stood a chance. But the fact that she's
Yeah.
trying to go after Karen is not working for her because you can't just
Oh,
be for the grind down. She should have tried to make up. She should have tried to repair her relationship with Karen. That might have worked better for her.
I'm gonna tell you something, Diva. I have said this. Baby, can't nobody on that show compete with Karen. I'm sorry. You, Mika, nobody else can. Y'all, I don't care who you bring in. Okay, Karen's in the lead by herself, baby. Okay, and you see those posters when she was at that club, that poster they had up on that poster. I said, oh baby, now you cannot compete with that. Charrisse cannot compete with that. Girl, go sit down somewhere. Like I said last night, she was having her moment because she want to be seen. She want the champagne thing. Girl, there ain't nobody can bring you back, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you something. I had did a crowd boil. You got to boil that water, put some seasoning in that water, and all that stuff in there. Because my daughter love crabs. So and I had made some lady who from one of my girlfriends is from New Orleans. She showed me how to do it. Baby, that water didn't have no see that water was clear. And I'm like my big sister Sunina had said last night. It was like she was baptizing the crab legs in that clear water. Now I don't know how she
Hold on, Lisa. Hold on, Lisa. Let me get Katrina in the building. Katrina, go ahead. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. The first scene with Kiara, Candiace, and Wendy at the her shop was very cute, showing that a black woman does own wellness spas. That was pretty cool. Giselle and her kids, Giselle and Grace leaving. if Gizelle can show that side of her, because she always been good to those girls that I did see ever since from season 1. She's taking care of those girls. If she can show that side of her, maybe she'll become more likable. Um, what was next? Oh, when her and Karen talked about she knew how she feel. The thing of it is Karen always try to be friends with Gizelle. Gizelle always go back and backstab Karen and talk about Karen whatsoever, or try to put Karen down. Um, let's see. Wendy and no, what's next? Girl, this show was so boring. Okay. Um Nika and her husband, okay, passed because word on I ain't finna go there. But either way, maybe she'll get a baby, whatever. The crab boil. Like you said, when Robyn seen it was Candiace, she didn't have to turn her back like that. It's ridiculous. And the thing of it is, Robyn really have no reason to be mad at Candiace. The reason why Robyn is probably mad with Candiace because Jazelle and Candiace doesn't talk. So I think if Jazelle and Candiace talk, Robyn and Candiace would be friends because Candiace really did like Robyn. She really did thought she had a friendship with Robyn. But Robyn, if Jazelle don't like you, Robyn don't like you. So you can just hang it up. And I can also I can say with that crab boil, that was the worst crab boil I ever seen. I guess it was for diet people because I ain't seen no salt on that stuff, no lemon, no juice, no butter, no nothing. Um, I have to give it to Candace when she brought out those text messages. But she had said earlier that it was something about Robyn, but she would never tell Wendy and Kiara what it was. She just said, "I'm just gonna hold on to it." So when that came out, when Charrisse was talking about Candace didn't want to be friends with Robyn or messed up the relationship whatsoever, babe, you must wasn't watching the show, or she must was still drunk. So either way, with Candace, the one thing I can say is Kiara was there, but she didn't go check on Candace. Neka did. Neka went and checked on Candace when Candace went out there. And that was a little shocker, but at least she did go check on her because I guess when Candace and Wendy didn't check on Kiara or whatever, and they was telling her why, what happened, all that type of stuff, but she didn't go check on Candace when Candace went out there crying. So I guess it's tit for tat, like you say, Diva. Um, Charrisse in that champagne room. Yeah, she paid what, $50,000 for that champagne room in her house. I don't know what she paid for the one that's in that townhouse. She got what, about $300, $400 or something. But either way, I think that's the end of the story. She was trying to make a moment. Oh, and Jackie and Mia. Like I said, I don't even believe that even happened with Mia because Mia lied so much. She just needed an excuse to be mad with Jackie or to get a moment. At least I'm hoping that she's lying because you really can't tell with Mia because Mia lied so much. And then when Gizelle was trying to get Karen to go there just so they could see what was going to happen with Mia and Jacqueline, just to see if they wanted some mess to come out of that, but that didn't happen. It happened with her friend Robyn and Candiace. But either way, I think that's the end of the episode. Nothing really happened, as you said. Like, it was boring. It gave a little, but it didn't give enough. And I'm just happy when the season finale come, and we can see those dreadful clothes that they got. A show, what Dwight would say, a fashion show with no fashions. So we can see that, and hopefully, well, I know they're not gonna show the fight, but they did have it edited in there, but we don't know. We don't know. So I think that's it. That's about it with that show. I'm done.
Thank you, Katrina. You know what, Lorraine, you brought up a very good point. I thought that was really respectful too. Candace has her moments. Candace has her moments where she goes in and out of her maturity level, like it's like a roller coaster ride. But I did like the fact that she apologized to Charrisse. She apologized to her children for yelling in the house. I mean, I thought that was a great moment. They are having some great moments on the show. And I wish they can kind of lean into more of those versus these darker moments, because the darker moments are the parts where you just like, oh, you can't take it. And I don't know what Wendy got her award for, but Wendy couldn't come to the crab boil because they said she was getting some type of award. So happy for Wendy getting her award. But I'm hoping the reunion is not a bunch of mess. I'm hoping it's not garbage. And I'm hoping that they're not going to make this thing 3 parts to drag it out for what. I will be recapping Married to Medicine tomorrow. And that the second part last night, it was nothing really happened. Jackie, I can't imagine anybody really being that stuck up and having their nose so high up in the air. But when you want to have a nose up in the air person, Jackie is it. Dr. Jackie is it. She can't see the error of her own ways, but she can see it in somebody else in 2.2 seconds. I'm over Dr. Heavenly. I think she's a whole hot mess. And the way that she just treats Sweet Tea is crazy. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. But Daddy is using Infamil because he can't drink no other milk. They need to stop. They need to stop. I couldn't do it last night. I was like, the foolery is just a high level foolery I really couldn't get with. It was just insanely crazy. And yes, Apollo showed up. Apollo's in the building, and we're going to see part 3. Apollo will be in the building. In terms of this episode, Wendy posted, oh, okay. What was her award for? That's nice that she got an award. The fact that this episode, like I said, it was okay. It wasn't. They made up scenes. Did you see the Husbands on Collar show? Yeah, it was pretty good. I did see it. Why is Apollo there? Because they needed something for part 3. They needed something for part 3, and I think Phaedra brought Apollo because she thought maybe whatever he was going to say was going to be a little different than what I heard he came out and said. But we'll see. Yeah, Apollo looked good. Messy cheating Apollo, he looked good. So like I said, with this particular one, love the scene between Gizelle and her daughter. I always love seeing Karen and Gizelle together because they just balance off of each other in the right way. They really do. And I just love the way Karen is just so extra. But she's extra to the point where you can still take her. In terms of that, everything else, it was like, okay, I'm sick of Robyn. It's official. I've been sick of Robyn, but I'm really sick of Robyn. Because the minute you call something out that she does that is factual, she gets to yelling and acting a fool too. Because she was yelling and acting a fool at the table. Whatever. No, whatever, girl. This is facts that we're pointing out. When you point out facts about somebody else, you want to be heard. But she's a mess. Yes, everybody, like and subscribe. I'm about to close out because didn't much happen. And we'll see y'all again tomorrow for Married to Medicine. Anybody, any closeout words before I close this thing out?
No.
Y'all all good. I know, right? Listen, I'm ready for it to be over. And what's sad about that is I never felt that way about the reality shows. I would be waiting for the next week to come up and see what's going to happen. I would love it. And I definitely couldn't wait to the reunion. And now I'm just like, whatever. Anyway, guys, thank you for being here. I appreciate y'all. If you did not hit the like button coming in, please hit the like button on the way out. Don't forget to hit that like button. And I'll see y'all hopefully tomorrow night when I do the recap, Married to Medicine Reunion Part 2. I'll see y'all soon. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.